Previously on Poetically Mused. My apologies for this video, Ujamaa and Ujima, being a little bit behind schedule. I ran into some technical difficulties that I had to iron out, but such is so when you're running your own show before and behind the camera. Ujamaa, Day 4, the number of foundation, the day that focuses on cooperative economics. Interestingly, Ujamaa comes to us on a day that's vibrating on the numerology of the 8. So that's for infinity, abundance, fullness, and creativity. My Mystic Diary, your haven for spiritually symbolic reading. This is the Wind Song Crawl of Oracles. Welcome. Ekuale, Ekuabo, Oni mi ojo aje, Opeo bon odunik ba wa mokinden logun, Mewana wano jo ikba otutu. What did I just say? Good evening and welcome. Today is Moon Day, December 30th, 2019, 10 days inside winter solstice. I'm iiYansa J. Muse, your mystic priestess, divinatory, literary, visual, and performing artist, and welcome to my special edition of my Mystic Diary, Kwanzaa with iiYansa, if you will. Tonight's principle, we're on night 5 now, and that would be Nia, purpose. As you can see, I'm greened out again, resonating with tonight's candle with the spirit of Ogun and the heart chakra. So first, the cosmology. 5, as in Kwanzaa's 5th day, is the number of divine balance, the checkpoint between 1 and 10. It deals with the elemental values in terms of all 5 elements as opposed to 4, earth, wind, air, fire, and spirit. Spirit most definitely pertains to purpose. Nia this year for 2019 came on a moon day, and that's a day that's ruled by the moon. So how do you tie your emotions in with your divine purpose? I'll get to that more after the break, but that's the cosmology that we're dealing with on today. The purpose falls on the moon, the ebb and the tide of your everyday life and how it fits into your divine purpose. Green is the color of the heart chakra. So of course your purpose resonates deeply with your heart. So it's no coincidence that Nia aligns with a green candle as opposed to a red carnal one. Even though red carnal energy does have its divine purpose, as you can see from Kujijagalia, Ujamaa, and Kuumba. The day vibrates on a 9, the daily numerology, and 9 is the color of spiritual mastery, of intuition, and by way of the African spirituality, 9 is the number that deals with the ancestors. And, oh yeah, Ashe. So what is it that our ancestors are calling us to do today in terms of our divine purpose? Perhaps to link it to theirs so that we could continue their legacy? Sounds good to me. The moon tonight. Double dose of moon energy because the day is ruled by the moon, and tonight's moon is waxing, that's increasing towards full, and it's waxing in the 3rd house of Gemini. Now how does that tie into Nia, divine purpose, Kwanzaa's 5th day? Well, as the moon increases its energy, perhaps this is an ideal time to increase a harmony between your dualities so that both your ego and your spirit are both working to fit your divine purpose. You see, you can channel your ego to work for your spirit, but channeling your spirit to work for your ego, not so much. That may not produce a good result. We're going to take a quick break, and when I come back, I'm going to get more into my thoughts on Nia, divine purpose, as we've already discussed the cosmology. Ashe.
Blues, I don't sing 'em. I tranquilize in their hue. Now my mouth pours truth. And iiYansa, J Muse, haiku. Moon talk, mother peace, found mother peace, throat chakra healing, waters, blues, spirits, films, music, sea creature messages, guided meditation, poetry, mysteries of the wine dark sea, healing stones and shells, blue things, rhyme, iiYansa's glass corridor, dreams and wisdom, cleansing, healing, it's all inside. Come on in. Every moon day on Mother Blue Hues with iiYansa Muse.
And we're back. Thank you for joining me for this special edition of my Mystic Diary, Kwanzaa with iiYansa, if you will. I came up with this collection of videos for a couple of reasons. One, to really maximize the effects of our holidays. And when I say our holidays, I mean African holidays, Black holidays. We should hold them in just as high, if not higher, of a regard than traditional European holidays. Because if we don't, who will? I'll wait. No. Nia, divine purpose. This year for 2019, the year of 3 year, the crossroads, it came on a 9 and on a moon day. 9 being the number of the ancestors and the number of intuition, and Moon Day being the day that rules the emotions. Moon is waxing in Gemini, waiting on our ego and our spirit to shake hands and get this show on the road, because divine purpose is what ultimately changes the world for the better. Sounds a lot like collective work and responsibility, but purpose is a bit more spiritual. My thoughts on Nia is to operate with purpose. Everything you do, do with intention. And this day comes to remind you of that, as purpose resonates with one of the green candles on the Kinyara. And green is the color of the heart chakra. Green is the color of Ogun. Green is the color of wealth, balance, forgiveness, and growth. And all of these things are possible and still keep your soul intact, if only you align with your divine purpose. But because this year it came on a day vibrating on a 9, I feel a very strong energetic pull from our ancestors. So perhaps this is an ideal day to reflect on many of the prominent ancestors of our community. Reflect on the stories of the ancestors in your family and how did their lives turn out as a result of following their divine purpose. How did they impact their families? How did they impact their communities? How did they ultimately impact the world? And when you get through with that, then ask yourselves, how can you follow suit? Now sometimes, in my line of work as a professional diviner, I get asked a lot of questions about, well, how do I find my divine purpose? What is my divine purpose? Your divine purpose is a loaded lifelong question that will answer itself in many different ways over and over and over and over again. But if you find yourself having difficulties in discovering your divine purpose, that's when I would suggest actually, you would revisit your Kujichagulia principle. Revisit that. Why? Because identifying yourself on as many different levels as possible will be ideal in helping you discover your purpose. Because you can't really discover what you're here for until you know who you are and why you're here. And we have a very serious task to take care of in these special times. We're in the age of the Great Awakening. We're headed into the Aquarian age. And this is a very interesting time for people of color. We have a lot to undo. We have a lot to uncover. We have a lot of redefining. And it's all aligned with your divine purpose. And no, it's not going to be easy. It's going to take a lot of work because aligning with your purpose is going to come at the sacrifice of all of the things for you that did not work. So don't be afraid because it's not going to be easy, but aligning with your divine purpose is very rewarding. And I assure you, aligning with your divine purpose would be a lot easier on you than continuing to live a life that's imbalanced with your true nature. Deeply search your heart for your purpose. Do that in a way of being unapologetically honest about where you are and where you stand with every aspect of your life. That will reveal to you areas for growth and areas where your strengths are, where you may help others grow. Everything you do in life must have a divine purpose. Everything you do with intention. And this principle of Kwanzaa has come to remind us of our purpose as individuals and our purpose as a people, our purpose on this planet, our purpose to the Most High, and whichever name we call him, her, by. So I'm going to take another quick break, and when we come back, I'm going to share with you a tarot draw for tonight before we get to light the Nia candle. Thanks for joining me.
Snooze. Breathe to slumber. See, recurring and lucid visions in a dream. An iiYansa, J Muse, haiku. Love and light. I am iiYansa J Muse, mystic priestess, oratory counselor, divinatory, visual, literary, and performing artist. And one of my favorite forms of divination is dream interpretation, as it is a form of self-prophecy, taking your dream symbols and decoding them and applying them to your waking life. So are your dreams keeping you up? Shoot me an email with your name, date of birth, and as many details as you can remember about your dreams to motherbluehue@poeticallymuse.org. Be sure to specify whether or not you'd like an email or a postal return. I include a little something extra for those who like the snail mail. Until then, may peace, love, and light be on to your world. Ashe.
And we're back. As you can see, I'm shuffling yet another different tarot deck. This is the tarot deck, the Mother Peace Round. It's a round deck of discs that I use in congruence with my Moon Day blog, Mother Blue Hues. The information is in the description box where you can follow the link there, follow the blog. As you can see, I have a different blog for each night of the week, and there will be more expounded on that later. So be sure to follow and like, share, and subscribe to all Mother Blue Hues social media, as this is the tarot deck that I will be using for Mother Blue Hues. So let's see what the Moon Tarot deck has to say to us tonight in terms of Nia, our divine purpose. I like shuffling the deck right here on camera so that you can see that none of these are pre-selected cards. And you can see how the tarot deck and how the spirits of the cards align with the message that's already been given. So let's see what the Mother Peace Round has to share with us tonight. Shuffle a little bit more until my spirit tells me to draw a card. Are you ready? All right. Seven of Wands. But the interesting thing is that as you can see, it showed up inverted. Uh-oh. Now, the Wands is the suit in the tarot deck that deals with energy conductors. So when it shows up inverted and slightly pointing west, then that means that there are some energies that may need realigning or adjusting. And so what this says in terms of our divine purpose is when it shows up upside down, The card is telling us to not be afraid to hold your ground. Release all anxieties, doubts, and fears that may be clouding your ability to stand up for yourself. Because as you can see in this image, when it's turned right side up, you see the person is a priestess. The lady is a priestess, and she is speaking to an entire village of people. But this is not how this card showed up. It showed up inverted, and it showed up inverted, pointing slightly to the west. And 7 is the number of divine completion. Now, what does this have to do with Nia, and what does this have to do with purpose? What this has to do with divine purpose is that many of us are dealing with doubts, anxieties, and fears in terms of our divine purpose. And nothing can turn this card right side up faster than releasing those anxieties, doubts, and fears. And be kind to yourself during that process, because as I said before the break, our people have a lot to undo. A lot of the anxieties were put in us from the abuse and the Holocaust of our ancestors. Many of the fears were put in us. Many of the doubts, fears, anxieties were placed there. And it is our job and up to our generation to undo them in order to truly live in the light and the divine purpose that the Most High sees fit. So thank you for joining me for this tarot draw. Whew. I even got something out of that one. I felt really great to just share that with you. I will be sharing my poem, the Nia poem. Now all 9 of them are available on my Etsy store. There's one for each principle of Kwanzaa. There's one for Kwanzaa in general. And the 9th one is a bonus track called Lagbara Idile. And that is a tribute poem to the Shape Community Center, where I first learned to start celebrating Kwanzaa. I hope you enjoy the poem. Download all 9. Ashe.
I painted this one green for you. Listen. Nia, Ope Ogbon, December 30th. Mojuma Maroon, when spirit speaks, do you swoon? To ignore your higher call could later spell doom. Heed the call, answer soon, Nia. Purpose. Plant the seed, then birth it. Seek the absolute within for the task that makes life worth it. Reverses generational curses and the lies that we were ever worthless, fed to us from cradles to hearses. Blessed water awaits our immerses, minding our betters while subtracting our worses. Nia, you dang right. Purpose. Clarity, the water's once murky, the crossroad is lurking, distractions are jerking, so light green candles to ground. Feel the voice forge into a mighty sound, changing axes of our inner worlds, turning round and round, restoring greatness, swiftly progressing with patience. Nia. Purpose. Conquers cosmic burdens as you color in the universal tapestry, turn certain what you were called for are your keys to the right door. Your future awaits, the path we shall take. Live in your purpose. What a blessing we'll make. Nia. Happy Nia from iiYansa Muse. 2019 Moon Day, December 23rd. The sun vibrates on a 2, moon waning, and Sagittarius.
And we're back. As you can see, the scenery has changed just a bit, and we're sitting in front of my hand-painted bottle art kinara. All of these are from iiYansa's glass gourd, celebrating 5 years of original glass gourd art. As you can see, recycled bottles that I turned into beautiful things. You can see the 5 lines in representation of the 5 days. The cowrie shells for our Africanness, sacred womanness, and you see the green Nia candle. So place this here, and I have my Nia green candle. And as I said, the green candle resonates with the heart chakra, resonates with the womb, resonates with love, wealth, prosperity, health, and forgiveness. So I'm going to place this here for just a second. Let me pan the camera down just a bit so we can at least see the tip of the candle. Scoot it over a little bit. Okay, there we go. I loves a good shot. Now in traditional, I won't say occultic practices, I'll just say in the ancient ways, when we light candles, dressing them is ideal. Oftentimes it's dressed with a sacred herb or a sacred oil or butter that has an intended meaning. And here's the butter that we'll be using for tonight's Nia purpose. As you can see, unlike all the other ones, it's blue. So the intention for this would be to stimulate the flow of all of our divine purpose. Meditate on the things you would like to do to unleash your purpose as I meditate on this oil and dress the candle. Gonna meditate for just a few seconds. Meditate on my intention for lighting this candle. There's no specific time as to how long you should or should not dress your candle. Rub on your candle until you feel your intention saturate in its wax. Are we ready? All right. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Happy Nia. And may the universe and the ancestors grant your request. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, watch the rest of the videos on this channel, and download the Kwanzaa album, Kwanzaa for the Cosmos, available on my Etsy. Ashe. Did you enjoy it on the cosmic beach side of Mother Blue Hues? Then you'll love it in the thickets of the Ogbo Twee. Why don't you meet me there tomorrow? Ashe.